Well, elaborate Halloween decorations are common sights on October 31st to give kids a trick with their treat. But this year, one Barhaven man's realistic crash display got Ottawa police involved, putting weeks of hard work in jeopardy. CTV's Bergeron Oliver has more on that story. Annie.
Well, Matt, Andrew Theodore has been making these big Halloween displays for a decade. This year, he decided to do something different, make it a little bigger, and to add a message. But his attempt to make this scene realistic drew some unwanted attention. At first glance, you'd think this fiery crash scene is real. Then the inflatable ghosts and pumpkins put it into perspective.
To get all this done isn't cheap, and I do it so that the kids are laughing and howling, and it's fun. I would say maybe somewhere to about here would be a fair statement.
When Andrew Theodore set out to make his spooky spectacle, he hoped to thrill trick-or-treaters while drawing awareness to texting and driving. Instead, he got a visit from police.
The first response was they thought it was an accident, which I understand. It was supposed to look like one, so that was good. And then they said their concern was they were going to get a lot of phone calls about it. So it really added to the effect.
Police wouldn't comment, but Theodore says they raised several concerns before saying part of the display was on public property.
The fact that they went through 3 or 4 different excuses before they found one that I couldn't argue leads me to believe they were just trying to find a reason to move it at that point.
The trunk of the car was overhanging about 3 feet onto public property. And so when the cops told him to move it, he had to call the contractor and use that forklift to move the car to where it is now. Moved back from the curb, Fright Night could begin.
Blood all over my hands, my intestines were showing.
Thrilling participants like Rob Richard and kids in the neighborhood.
Well, it was very imaginative on Andrew's part, but it was a good message. No kids were crying. Parents had a lot of smiles.
Most of my friends got scared, some of them, but most of them liked it.
I had smoke machines, I had lights.
Despite the run-in with police, Theodore says it's full speed ahead for next year.
After having a night, thinking about the kids and saying, I'm not stopping this. I'm going to keep doing it.
Next year's theme is going to be much different, and Theodore says what he has learned from this experience is don't have anything on public property. Matt?
CTV's Bergeron Oliver reporting live for us tonight.